Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and my first ever Yu-Gi-Oh video on the channel as well. Today we'll be looking at structure decks for Shadolls Magistus build, and if you like that, there'll be more Yu-Gi-Oh content to follow, as I've just done a few pack opening videos recorded, so hopefully you'll enjoy this, you'll enjoy the pack opening stuff. If you do, please like, comment and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. So as we kick into this, we'll be on EDO Pro, looking at this deck build that I've got, and kicking us off is a triple copy of Wendy. For those who don't know who Shadolls is, Wendy is probably the best with Skullmaster Shadoll card. So what Wendy does is basically when it's sent to the graveyard, you can then add another Shadoll monster face down on the field, which is really good and overpowered. Yeah, so anytime you have an effect where you basically send someone to the graveyard, send Wendy to the graveyard, then you get the next card, which I usually do is get the next card will come to a Skullmaster. I usually put this down face down because its flip effect is that when you just see somebody's got a badass monster like 5k damage, you just yeet it off the field with Skullmaster apparently. It's really funny. You know, you go see an opponent, spend like 10 minutes to build up a nice big access code talker or something like that, then it comes to attack you, you just Skullmaster, bye bye. Very nice. After that we've got double copies of Shadoll Hedgehog, which basically is yeah, you just add the spell of trap from your hands as the flip effect, but most times you're not going to get this out. If you do, good, it's really good for that. But what you do is when this gets sent to the graveyard, you get an extra card from your deck, which is really good. So yeah, if you're not sending Skullmaster to the graveyard, you're probably sending a Hedgehog, just to get that extra material really. Then next we just have a single copy of Beast, who again is just a really good sort of wall. It's 1700 defense, so it's really good. Plus when it's flipped you get the draw card, then when it's sent to the graveyard you get a draw card as well, so it's really good for that. Next, Aerial. People really say this is a really good Shadoll card, but I'm sort of missing the strategy on that. How I play, I sort of play around Aerial and don't really utilise it as much, so this is probably the card that I'm going to get rid of, maybe for an extra, maybe for a Dragon or a Falco, just try something else out. But yeah, other people say this is a really good card and really love it. They even play like double, triple copies of this, but for me it's just not really utilised as much as it could be, so there you go. Moving on to the Magistus, we have triple copies of Renoa, I think it's how you say it, then Zora, double copies of Zora, then the single copy of Crowley. So Renoa is just a really good light card, and this is why it's sort of been brought out. It currently resides at the £16 mark, which is like $20 to $25 I think. This is the reason I'm doing this on EDO Pro as well, basically because I can't afford the 45, or not that I can't afford, but I just refuse to pay £45 for 3 copies of anything because I'm a bit of a budget player and a bit stringent like that. But no, this provides really good synergies with obviously Shadoll monsters, because this is what you're going to use to get your I forgot the name, constructs out. So yeah, really good card. You can see what I can understand at least why it's been brought out, because it's just better OP with Shadolls. And Zora as well. Basically Zora, what it does with your Magistus cards is a free Borrowload Savage off one card. What you do, you put this to the normal summon this, then you equip the Magistus, we'll get to in the extra deck. That then gets you the Renault on the field, which then you've got 3 cards then to get a Borrowload Savage, re-equip the Magistus with a 1 negate. Really good open cards. That is like, people tiptoe around that, you know. 3400 Borrowload Savage, you know, with 1 negate, it can block major plays, and yeah, it's just a really good card to have. And if you have like maybe a Wendy on the field as well, or you then have a couple of traps to open up, so when the opponent goes you can then trap into or spark out, sorry, into a Wendy. Really good, really good. So that's why I have 2 of these, just for that Borrowload. And Crowley as well, this is really good, and I think quite underrated actually when it comes to the Shadoll build, because this has the ability to change its attribute to anything it wants. So if you want to, for example, play a Geista, this is usually really hard to get out in any of the Shadoll deck, but if you have a Crowley, then you change its attribute to fire, you then fusion summon into the Geista. Really good. Mathematician single as well, really good for early plays. It's just get this down, get a card. Nice. Then we have the Driver and Gamma package, which, you know, meta be, meta do, so it has to be in the deck really. Then move on to try Magistus, which is a card that has its pluses, but overall, might just get rid of this for another invocation, to be honest, because I'm not having the most joy out of it, and I think in this build you're probably better off with a double invocation. So then we next is invocation, which again is just a free fusion, which obviously you can get extra deck cards out. Then same again with the Shadoll fusion, now Shadoll fusion, staples of Shadolls, you know, really OP cards, very nice cards. Then we have the Magidolls fusion. The reason why this is in the deck is it's a fusion card, so it's really good and comes up, but also is the extra deck monster, which you've probably already seen, which we'll come to later. It's just fantastic in this deck, a really awesome card. After that we have a Pot of Avarice, basically because you have a load of cards that end up in the graveyard, so it's good just to shuffle those back into your deck. For example, if you have like 2 Wendy's and 3 Squall Martyrs in your graveyard in a late game, it's just really good to have them back, because then you can just keep going and keep going. And it's, with this in the deck, this makes Shadolls go the long game, go the grind game even more and even better. So I recommend at least one of these, potentially 2 if you really want, but I find 1's enough. Same with the Bidden Chalices, you're just a bit of a text choice. I'm just sort of playing this out instead of an infinite permanence. Has its moments, but again might just get this out for another trap card, because this is more of a trap variant of the deck, which we move on to Trench Tribute. Again, like Trench Tribute, great card, and I might have double Trench Tribute and get rid of the Chalice. Still playing around with those sort of ratios. But yeah, Trench Tribute is just a big red button. I love it. When you're backed into the corner, like you have, you know, 3 boss monsters on the other side of the field, you just go, just wipes it. Just love it. Needle Sealing is also quite good, because that only affects the face-up monsters, so face-down monsters, which I haven't yet played with, so I probably might turn that in. But yeah, love the big red button. Then you go with Paleozoic Dynamiscus, which again is just it's a solid, you know, flip, destroy. Then it can be summoned as a 2100 attack card, which good card, really good card. Hasn't come with an awful lot when I've used it, but when it does, really effective. So I recommend picking them up. Since the Shadow games, get a triple copy of those bad boys. So that's just send something to the graveyard, then you can flip up, which can come in clutch. I mean, maybe a double copy instead of a triple copy. But this is really good, because what you find with Shadolls is you might have like say like a Wendy on the field, then you might have 3 face down monsters, then you're sort of trapped into the corner because you don't know then what to do or what to play. You might have like trash, but if you have one of these, you just play it on your opponent's turn. Then like if you have 2 Squall Martyrs, you can just wipe the board if you're effective. You're really effective with it. Then yeah, it just enhances plays on your opponent's turn, which is really good. And it's the same with the Shadoll Schism. This card I picked up luckily for about £5, but it's now riding at like I think the $25 mark. It's nuts, but it's just really OP of just being able, very much like since the Shadow games, just to play on your opponent's turn and just sort of set up with a board of saying, you know, break through this, then they go, then you go, oh actually break through this, while destroying half their board in the process. It's just really good. And to the final card, we have the Shadoll Incarnation, which very much like since the Shadow games, it just has the effect of just for 1 card, just flip it up and do an effect, which really handy. So this I find is a really good deck. Really fun deck as well. This is not just like I have a lot of success with this. I have a lot of fun with this because it's so dynamic, I guess. It's just you face whatever deck and you're able to at least, maybe not out, but just play on. And in the worst case scenario, you force the game into a grind game with this. It's just really good. And we'll move on to the extra deck, because the extra deck this is probably my funnest extra deck and my favourite extra deck I've created in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it just does a bit of everything. And we'll kick that off with Double Construct. Again, amazing boss monster. Then once you get sent to the graveyard, you get the Spell Trap. So if you've you have like a bit of a pull loop, sorry, where you can pull this back out of the graveyard when it's gone. And yeah, it just causes headaches. When the OP forces your opponent to only be able to special summon once per turn. Really good if you play it really well. You could, like I said, borrow salvage it. Then when your opponent goes, they do their 1 special summon, you go actually couple of trap cards later, fusion later, boom, you've got a Winder, they can't do shit. So yeah, all they can do is just set a back row and just hope for the best. Really good card. Alkalone, yeah, just comes in its moments. Yeah, just negate the effects. Yeah, it's probably the weakest of the three. Four, sorry, we'll get into Greaster, but yeah, still has its moments. Greaster, I really like Greaster. Personally, I think it locks you out the extra deck. Is it no, negate, summon negate, yeah, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, really good card. Like I say, it's really difficult to get this out in a normal, like a pure Shadow deck, or even an Invoke Shadow deck, but with Zora and Crowley, to be fair, this is just so much easier to get out, and I would rank this as top 3 Shadow fusion monsters. And yeah, like I say, it comes up a lot. I enjoy it. And we go into the Quintet Magician, which OP boss monster. This is probably one of your win conditions to getting this out on the field, because you can't really, once it's out on the field, the opponent can't really do much other than maybe force it into a defensive position, because it's just mad card. Yeah, if you do the fusion summoning, which you're using 5 different spellcast monsters, which you can do in this deck, you can just wipe the field. So it's got that double A batteries effect. But also it is, yeah, we say it cannot be tributed, nor can it be used as fusion material, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Lovely. But this surprisingly is very consistent. Like I say, if you get Borrello Savage out, you've got 1, 2, 3 in the graveyard. Then if you get a Wendy, you've then got 1, yeah, 4 and 5. That's it. Yeah, so if you get Borrello and a Wendy using those materials, yeah, game over really. Because when you have a Borrello, a Wendy, and you have the Quintet Magician, it's like game. We move on to the Magistus Ariwas, I think how you say that. Which is a really cool card. If there's ever a position as well where you just can't out anything if you don't have it, if you can summon this, what this does is equips itself to your opponent's card, then basically puts in your control. So if your opponent spends like 10 minutes building up to this really awesome boss monster like the Blaze Zeus, for example, you just go, I take that. That's mine now. And yeah, it's just a really good card. I love it. Nightmare Unicorn, very standard, very good. Shadow Construct, which is just a free Shadow fusion when it comes up, and it comes up a lot because it's just 2 flip monsters, and again you can sort of loop it back into your play a lot, so this just comes up a lot. So in this deck you have literally what, 7, yeah, you've probably got about 10, yeah, you've got about 10 potential ways to fusion summon, which is just a bit awesome really, or synchro summon as well, I guess. Anyway, we move on. Cross Shape, again, just a really good Link 2 monster, very staple. Gravity Control in the same vein, just a bit of a staple. Then the Magistus Maiden of Artemis, it's a staple when it comes to Magistus, but again, we've talked about how the Borrello Savage equip happens, and it's just really good. Borrello Savage, really good. And as we said, 3 monster on 1 card into Borrello Savage, that is nuts. Then Abyss Dweller at the end, just for the meta. I think this is your free slot really. Like I say, with the Unicorn, the Crush You, the Gravity Control, and the Abyss Dweller, you can sort of just do what you want here. But for me personally, I like this setup. And yeah, like I say, it was just a really fun deck. Like, even if you don't have like the wildest of success with this deck, it's fun. And to be fair, you will have a lot of success with this. I think this is potentially the new meta of how this looks like. I mean, if this is more of a trap heavy deck, you get more of a control element to it, which you can easily do by getting rid of Chalice and Magistus, sorry, and Aerial as well. So you get rid of them 3, you've got 3 more trap cards, and you have a lot more of a trap variant card. And I think the Kali effect, King of Games, he did a really good version of this, but again, he only runs the 3 Renowners and the Zoras and the Crowley goes. So yeah, you can play about what you want, but I found this is just a really good balance, and especially with the extra deck. The extra deck is just fun. Like I say, you could just have like, you know, 3 or 4 of these guys all at once, and you just see your opponent just crumble, or just try and outplay it, or just give up. Like a lot of times, they just surrender. It's just really fun. So yeah, let me guys what you know. Let me guys what you think down below, and maybe let me know what you know. You know, I might be missing a few elements here, which could improve this dramatically or not. Let me know if you try this in the future. But yeah, that's going to about wrap it up for this deck build. I've got another one that I'm sort of playing with at the moment with the ABC Dragon Buster Shadolls build, so let me know if you want to see that sooner rather than later, because that probably won't come for another month or so, just because I'm playing around with it and the scheduled uploads as well. While Yu-Gi-Oh is like, I guess in my interest at the moment, I'm probably going to do one Yu-Gi-Oh video a week. Then I'm also going to do like Premier League reviews, vinyl reviews, maybe a few whiskey reviews as well. So just let me know what the balance looks like, if you want more of one or more of the other, because I'm happy to do more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, absolutely. You know, I'm just spending what I'd usually spend on myself on this channel, but then recording my openings and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next one.